Okay, so welcome back to the session here. So in last class, which topic we have seen?
EBS.
EBS, right? So we have seen EBS, we have seen snapshot, and later we have seen AMI also. See in last class, whatever the AMI you created, that is called as golden AMI. Which AMI? Golden AMI means your application, your packages, your software will be pre-installed. Okay, see if somebody asks you what is golden AMI, don't confuse. Whatever the AMI that is already having the configuration of packages and application, that is called as golden AMI. Okay, fine. So now in today's session, we are going to see the concept of elastic load balance. Which one? So while practicing Argo CD, which click on synchronize not able to see in pods node is moving this. Practicing Argo CD while click on synchronization not able to see.
So after the deployment, wirefile we can't see the pods and containers.
Divya, I will recommend you to server actually. Like sometimes like she is telling me that she's not able to see synchronize option. So Divya, if you are having the Argo CD setup, let me know. I'll troubleshoot at the end of the session. Okay. So fine here, let's go and start the concept of elastic load balancer. The name itself is indicating balancing the node. Guys, for example, if you see the diagram here, how many users are having? 6 users. So I'm creating how many servers? 3. For example, if all of these 6 users are accessing the single server, automatically the load is going to happen or not, sir? So this single server will receive the complete load and it is going to terminate. So which is not a best practice. So in order to distribute the load to different users in real time, we are going to create the elastic load balancer. Which one? Let's say I'm having 2 different servers or 3 different servers. All of them are using the same application. What I'm using? So when all of the servers are using same application, my user need to access these servers. If 6 users are accessing the same server, for example, server number 1 is accessing by 6 users, automatically load will increase. Now server number 2 and server number 3 will be waste or not, sir? Why? Because even though I have multiple servers, every user is accessing the server number 1. So while these people are accessing, my load is going to be gradually increasing. In order to reduce these kind of issues, we are going to create the load balancer. If you create the load balancer, if server 1 send the request, it will, sorry, if user 1 send the request, it will go for server 1. If user 2 send the request, it will go for server number 2. If user 3 will send the request, it is go for server number. Again, vice versa. User 4, it will go for server 1. User 5, server 2. User 6, server. This is what we can call as round robin algorithm. Which one? So in an experience level, in interview, they are going to ask you the question, what kind of load balancing strategy you are using? Round robin algorithm. Which one? Yes. So now after distributing the traffic here, you can go and see each of the server is receiving the 2 requests, correct or not, sir? For example, if I have 9 users with 3 servers, each server will get how many requests? 3, like that. If I have 30 users and 3 servers, each server will get how many number of users? Is that concept clear now? That's it. Now coming to the concept of load balancer here. So basically we have 4 type of load balancers. How many? But in the diagram you can only see 3. First of all, application load balancer, which support HTTP and HTTPS protocol. Second one, network load balancer, which support TCP and UDP protocol. Classic load balancer. Classic load balancer is the previous version of application and network load balancer. Guys, classic load balancer comes in the year 2009, first version. But application load balancer comes in the year 2016, which is version 2. Network load balancer comes in the year 2017, which is version 2. And recently we are having the gateway load balancer in AWS console in the year of 2020, like this. But due to some limitations of classic load balancer, AWS is not providing the service for classic load balancer anymore. That means it is still in the console, but nobody is going to use this one. So generally in real time, you will use the application load balancer for normal application. But whenever if your application is receiving millions of requests per second, let's take Amazon Big Billion Day sale. Generally, Amazon server will receiving 1 lakh requests per day. I can use HTTP. But in the Big Billion Day sale, I am getting some crores of requests in a per day. So in that case, if I want to optimize my server in a better way, I can use network load balancer. Which one? Application load balancer is for general purpose. But if your requests are millions per second, then only you are going to use the network load balancer. Application load balancer support HTTP and HTTPS. Network load balancer will support TCP, UDP protocols also. Okay, like that. And one more thing, application load balancer will support WebSocket also. Which one? If you go for solution architect level, so they are going to give the question like this. For example, among them, which of the following protocols are going to support by application? So answers will be HTTP, HTTPS, WebSocket, all of them. So now in this case, you are going to select all of them. Why? Because it supports all of them. Okay. So make sure sometimes you are going to get the multiple answer question in the solution architect. Of course, you are not for the AWS course here, but I'm just giving for your knowledge here. Okay. Fine. Next here, if you go to the console, so basically load balancer will be depending upon the OSA model. I think all of you know OSA. OSA stands for Open System Interconnection. Application load balancer will stand for the 7th layer of OSA model. Okay. Network load balancer will be 3rd layer of the load balancer. Okay. So like this, basically it's not the interview question like what are the OSA model, but in interview, they will ask you which layer. Application will be 7th layer. Network will be 3rd layer or 4th layer. 4th layer. It is protocol TCP, UDP as in 4th layer. Na? Like that. Here I can see. Application load balancer will be working on 7. Network load balancer will be working on 3rd, like this kind of protocols. And if you go to classic, classic will be working on both 7th layer and 3rd layer. That means classic load balancer will support HTTP, HTTPS, TCP. That means it is a combination of both application and network, like that. So if I give a high level overview, so you are going to get the complete information about the load balancer. Guys, I'm going to tell you the real-time architecture for you, how the load balancer is going to work on real time. So this is going to be very, very easy to understand. So let's go and understand what is load balancer here. In real time, if I talk about 3-tier architecture, how many servers will I be having? For 3-tier architecture, how many servers will I have? 3. What are those? Web server. Front end means web server only. Web server, app server, database. I'm gonna create 2 web server, 2 app server, 2 database. Why? Because one I create on US East 1A. One I create on US East 1B. Why? Because unfortunately, if data center on US East 1A got completely disaster, that means due to natural calamities like earthquake, storms. Unfortunately, due to like this, if one data center got completely destroyed, I have second data center or not, sir? So high availability. High availability means maintaining servers on different AZs. AZ means availability zone. Why you need to maintain? Unfortunately, if one server got deleted, you need to have the backup of second server in some different region. So I'm creating the web servers, app server and DB server. I'm writing the names here. Web server. Second one will be third one will be DB server. Correct? Like this. So whenever if user send a request, for example, I'll take a 4 users, user 1, user 2, user 3, user 4. Guys, this is the real-time architecture. Definitely you need to understand. Okay. So whenever a user send a request, okay, I'm gonna talk the behind the scenes actually. For example, let's take Book My Show as the application. What I'm taking here? Book My Show. Are you seeing Book My Show application? First of all, I'm going to which server here? Web server. Which server? Why? Because web server main functionality is to show the application. Correct or not, sir? Next, we will be going to the app server. For example, if I want to book the tickets for Maharaja, so I'll go here. I can click on book tickets. That means currently I'm on which server? App server. The request will come from web to app. And finally, if you can go and see here, I'm gonna select the movie tickets here. I'm gonna select the Cinepolis and I'm going to book the tickets. I'm going to select 2 tickets here. Okay. Click on pay the amount, accept the risk. Now, what are the data here I'm entering? The data is going to store on where, sir? So this already, you know, why? Because this is the first session I have said in the demos part. Okay. This is how the architecture will work. First of all, request will go to web, then app, finally DB. So now what exactly will happen, you know, behind the scenes, before the request will go to the web server, there is something we are going to see called as load balancer. Which one? This load balancer will take the request from the user one. And this is what I can call as internet load balancer. Which one? Internet. Let me take some different color. Why? Because I want to show different aspect. Internet LB. LB stand for load balancer. So whenever if you go for the web server, first of all, the user request will go to the web like load balancer. So user one request will go to the internet load balancer. From the internet load balancer, first request will go to the server number one. Similarly, whenever if a user to send the request will go to now second server. It's not first. It is going to go for the second. Similarly, when user 3 send the request, okay, the request is going to go for which server now? First one. And in the same way, whenever if user 4 send the request, it is going to go for the second server. Is the mechanism clear for all of you know? Why? Because if I send all of the requests to single server, it is going to get the stress and automatically the server is going to be crashed. That is the reason we distribute the load based upon the request. So the first load balancer I'm going to teach you is about internet load balancer. Which one? Sir, internet load balancer will be attached to your web server. Which server? That means if any request come to your web server, first of all, it need to pass through the load balancer. From the load balancer, you are going to see it to the web server. So currently, if I show the practical part, I'm going to open my book my show here. You can go ahead and check here. Are you able to see the request coming to web server? How it is coming from the behind the scenes from the internet load balancer. Okay. Again, if second user try to open the book my show, again, this is also coming from the internet load balancer. But first request will go to server number one. Second one will go to server number. Is the first concept clear for all of you know? Online. Can you please confirm is the first concept clear for all of you or not? Clear. Great. So next year, what I'm doing is, you know, sir, whenever the request will come to the web server, now these 4 requests will need to go to app server or not, sir? Why? Because here currently these 4 users are seeing the application, but they want to book the tickets. They want to book the ticket means they need to go to the app server. So now, whenever my web server is having the 4 requests, before I pass the request to app server, again, I need to create one more load balancer called internal load balancer. Which load balancer? Internal load balancer. This is what I can be called as internal load balancer. Internal load balancer, right? So now if you can go and see, first request from the web server, okay, will come to the internal load balancer. It will be going to the app server. Again, similarly, second request from the web server will come and go to the app server. Similarly, third request from server number 1 will come and go to the first server. On the same, likewise, fourth request will come from server number 2 of web server and go to the server number 2 of. So now here I'm gonna speak about the server called app server. Which server? Guys, once the internet load balancer will receive the request and send to the web server, next internal load balancer will be happening in our organization. This internal load balancer will take the request from the web server and pass to the app server. Correct? So we have seen internet and we have seen internal. So user will access the application from the web server and use the application from app. Web server will be having the internet load balancer, which will take request from internet. Once the request will enter to the web server, now these requests are internal request. The internal request will be taken by internal load balancer and be giving to the. Is the concept clear now? Now, whatever the users are using the application here, now they are going to enter the data into the database. Now tell me, what kind of load balancer we need to use for database? Internet or internal? Internal. Online, what about you? What kind of load balancer we are going to use for database? So Divya, it is internal and Ankit is internal. The answer will be none of them. None of them. Guys, database server will not have a load balancer. What is the purpose of load balancer? To distribute the load. Tell me one thing. Users can access the web server, right? That means load we can distribute to user. User can also access the app server. So definitely we need to distribute the load. But tell me, can users access the database? Can we give permission for them? So if users are not accessing the database, why need to have load balancer? So remember, it is the dumbest question. Whatever the question I asked, it is the dumbest question ever. So load balancer will be not attaching to any of the database server. Why? Because database server will not be accessible by the user. That is the reason we don't attach any load balancer for the database. It will store. See, whatever the data you are giving to the app server, so this data will come to the database and it is going to store here directly. All user data is going to store on the DB server. Is the point clear for all of you? That's it. It is called as stateless application, stateful application. Already know what is stateless and stateful. It is stateful. Why? Because here you are storing the data. Stateless means it is not going to store the data. Correct. So now whatever the things here you are seeing, this will be the real-time architecture of the load balancer. So if you understand the architecture, you can explain any project very, very easily. Okay. So now here you need to understand one thing, sir. Type of load balancer you said application load balancer, network, classic, and fourth one is gateway. But what are the internal and internet, guys? This is the load balancer of application load balancer. Which one? Inside the application load balancer, again, we are having two types. One is internet, second one is. So majority of the cases in real time, you are going to use the application load balancer. Which one I'm going to teach you now? Application. In application load balancer, how many load balancer we are having again? Two. Internet and internal. Internal is internet is attaching for which server? Internal? For database? No. Why we don't give load balancer for database? Because users don't access the database. User can give the information. That information will store on database. That's it. Okay. Database is not going to give to the user. That is the reason. No need to distribute the load actually. So guys, is the architecture clear for all of you? No? Online, can you please confirm is the architecture clear for all of you or not? And one more thing, database should not be multiple servers. Database can be single server. Database can be here. But for your clarification, I have taken multi. Why? Because if one database gone, we have second database now. I'll explain on the RDS concept as of now. Just mention two as of now. So now before I go and explain this one, so guys, whatever the architecture I explained here, same architecture you can see here. So don't need to understand this one. Why? Because this is more clear than the architecture I mentioned on the diagram. So guys, here you can see, note it is not required that EC2 instance must have the public IP. Elastic load balancer can communicate through the IP address. Only communication we need public IP for the internet, but we need private IP. That means it is telling that even though if your EC2 instance doesn't have the public IP address, still we can connect. Remember, in real time, only web server will have the public IP address. App server, database server will not have the public IP address, but still we can able to communicate with them. So now if we go and see, so load balancer is going to distribute traffic to the server. Here you are seeing something called as target. What is the meaning of target? Single server is called as target. And the group of servers can be called as target group. Is it clear for all of you? Single server can be called as, group of servers can be called as. And here you can see something called as listener rule. What you can see? Listener rule is very, very simple. Okay, I'll explain this on the very detailed structure here. Let me go and show you. For example, let's go and take 4 different servers. This is a target group 1. It is my target group 2. It is my load balancer. How many target groups I'm having here? 2 target groups. For example, first target group is serving the service called movies in Paytm. What it is serving? Movies. Second target group is serving the train, for example, let's take. So whenever if user type www.movies.com, moviespaytm.com. For example, let's take this. So now this load balancer will take this request, okay, and check whether the movies is running on target group 1 or it is running on target group 2. If I see here movies, my request will go to target group 1. Why? Because target group 1 is serving the movie service. But if the same user is typing www.paytm train, here this domain name can be anything, paytmtrain.com. Now user is trying to access the application of train service. Which service? Now train service is on which target group? Now load balancer will send it to the second target group. Why? Because here whatever the user is asking, that is going to be listened by the listener rule. That is going to be listened by. So listener rule will exactly take the user input. Based upon the input, it is going to route the traffic. For example, I think all of you seen the ingress, right? In ingress, how many type of like routing we are having? Host based and path based. For example, to make it very clear, here I'll show the practical example for you. In the browser, if I type www.paytm.com/movies, it is going for which service here? It is going for movie service, right? But in the same way, instead of movies, if I put here DTH or recharge, let's take here trains. What I'm taking here? It is going for which service now? Correct or not, sir? How it is going means listener rule. Which one? Listener rule will check your request. Based upon your request, it is gonna send the request to the desired target group. Again, I'll ask you 2 questions. What is target group? Target group is nothing but group of servers which is serving the application, right? Whenever you are having multiple services, you can create multiple target groups. For example, if the application is monolithic, single target group is enough. But if it is microservice, each service will be running on different server, no? So different target groups. And what is listener rule? Based upon the user input, it will route the traffic to the target group. Is the concept of listener rule and target group clear for all of you? Online, can you please confirm is the listener rule and target clear for all of you or not? For your clarity, I'm telling. So both will be same actually. Great. And again, coming to this routing, actually, we have 2 type of routings. One is host based, second one is path based. Already we seen in the ingress. Here also same thing. We have host based routing and we have the path based routing. So here if I go and now here I see there is something important we can observe, that is health check. Which one? For example, there is a concept called health checks. For every X seconds, the seconds can be 5 seconds, 30 seconds, 10 seconds. I'm gonna check the health of my targets. Are these two servers running properly or not? For every X seconds, that can be customizable. If the server is running properly, I can keep this server and I can serve the traffic. But if the server is not running, I'm gonna delete the server and I'm gonna recreate one more time. Why? Because it is not running properly now. So whenever it is not running properly, how can it give the load? So this is called as health check. Health check will monitor the health of your EC2 instances. If it is working fine, it's cool. If it is not working fine, we are going to terminate the existing one. We are going to create the new one. How you can create auto scaling group will do it. I think all of you know auto scaling group, right? That's it. So this is the prerequisite you need to understand about the load balancer. And again, whatever the points I said, every point is written here. So you need not to worry about this theory. Theory is nothing. If you understand this single diagram, everything is rely on here only. So now let's go and do the practical example. So what I'm going to do is here, I'm going to launch one application here. I'll create two servers. And remember, in real time, definitely you are going to create the application high availability. High availability means creating servers on two different, why on two different availability zones? Because if one availability zone failed, second availability zone will give the application. So I'm going to give it as server 1. Here I'm going to take it as Amazon X2 or Amazon, like anything is fine. And one more thing, guys. Basically, let me tell you one thing. There is a concept called user data in the AWS. So subnet, I'm going to take it as 1A. So if I go to here, if I go to GitHub, Ram Sheikh 007, you can see the all setups, right? Now this time I'm going to deploy the Netflix. I think you got some, what you got here? Phishing mail. So I don't deploy Netflix application. I'll deploy the Swiggy application today. Which application? I have the code here. What I can do is I can copy the code here. Basically, after launching the instance, then you can run the code, right? But basically what happened, in the AWS, we have a option. There it is. In the AWS, we have the option called user data in the advanced details. In the advanced details, if you go to the last year, you can put the script. What you can put here? If you put the script here, automatically the script will run before your instance is started. That means after creating the instance, I go to the server, then I launch the EC2 instance, then I'll go and execute the script. But if you put here, once the server is ready, the application will deploy automatically. So what I'm doing here, I'm going to give the script here as exclamatory /bin /bash. It is a script actually. Okay. So for every script, it is the common thing you need to add. So I'm going to launch instance. The moment if I launch instance, automatically my application will be ready. Let me show you. Remember, this will run only first time. When you create the instance only, then only it is going to be run. Okay. So in my server 1, my Swiggy application is going to run now. Similarly, I create one more server with same configuration. So it is my server 2, web server it is, okay? So I'm going to launch it as web server 2. AMI. AZ, what I need to select here? 1B. Any AZ, not only 1A, 1B, any AZ. Security group, you. Basically, I think I forgot to select all traffic for server number 1. I'll check it. I selected all traffic. Huh? Okay. So here now, if I want to execute the script, what I need to do? Copy and paste. But remember, for script, better to use !exclamatory /bin bash. Click on launch instance. Now you are having two servers. You are having what here? So let me rename it as web server 1, Swiggy web server 1. Copy the public IP address of the server. Try to access the application. Getting the application here. How I deployed the application, even before I run the script, I give the user data. Automatically that is going to run itself. So now I'm gonna copy the public IP address of my server number 2. Am I going to get the application from server number 2? It is still loading. Wait for some time. Is it running now? Guys, tell me, is the process of using the user data in AWS clear for all of you know? What is the purpose of using it? To execute the user data. To run the scripts in EC2 instance before we connect to it. Okay, that's it. Online is the concept of using user data. Clear for all of you in AWS EC2? Can you please confirm? Correct. So now I'm going to show you the live load of the server. So copy the SH client and try to connect to the servers. So I'm connected to both of my server number 1 and server number 2. CD desktop / keep. Here also I'm going to connect to my server number 1. So guys, whatever the examples I'm teaching, this will be the live examples. You cannot get this much of liveness anywhere. So try to use this as much as possible. Okay. Sudo -i. It is my server number 2. And it will be my server number 1. So now I'm going to give the application IP address for you. So try to access. Okay. So it is my IP address of my server number 1. What I'm trying to do is, guys, my application is running on both of the servers, right? But what I'm doing is, I am trying to access my application from server number 1 mostly. So I'm going to access the application. Let me show it lively for you. So before that, I'm going to use the command tail command. I think all of you know tail command, right? To check the logs. So give the command tail -f. -f means like any lines where www HTML and you have something called as access_log. What you are going to, sorry, it's not www HTML, where log httpd access_log. So this command will show me how many number of users are accessing my application. It is my server number 1. It is my server number 2. Tell me, both of the servers are giving the same application or not, sir? But here I'm trying to access the application from server number 1 mostly. So I'm hitting the URL continuously. While I'm hitting the URL continuously, now you can go and see in the background which server is getting the more load here. Server 1 or 2? 1. So what I'm doing is I'm giving the IP address for all of you. So online, please open your mobiles, all of you, and offline. Online, I have given the IP address for all of you in the chat box. So please try to enter the IP address. No need to use HTTP, just only IP address. And for offline, I am giving the IP address here for you. Copy the IP address and try to paste it here. I'm giving it here. Wait. That's the IP of server number 1. Now you can see which server is getting more load, sir. Server number 1. Even though server number 1 and 2 is giving the same application, my load is going for server number 1. Whenever the load is going to server number 1, so do we have the chance to is the server automatically going to terminate itself or not, sir, due to heavy load? Yes. If you want me to show it, give the command yum install htop. I think all of you know htop command, right? Htop is the command to check the load of a server. If I want to check the load of a server, see. Second server's memory is 327 and CPU is 86%. It come down, but first one is 0%. Are you seeing the differences here? Server number 1 load average is 0.2. How much is the load average? 0.2. Let me highlight it here. It is 0.2, but here 0.06. Correct or not, sir? Server number 1 is having 57 tasks, but server number 2, 51. And the average memory utilization is 125. But here, now tell me, which server experienced more load here? Whenever if load is going for only one server, it is good thing or bad thing? So definitely here we are going to distribute the load or not, sir? So in order to distribute the load, so what exactly I am going to do now is, I am going to use the internet load balancer. Which load balancer? Why? Because currently I'm using application server. So sorry, web server. Web server use which kind of load balancer? Correct. So if I go here, in the right side, left side, you can see load balancer. So create the load balancer. It is very easy. Select here which load balancer. Support which protocol. Click on create. Load balancer name will be Swiggy. But in real time, you can give the DNS actually. Like I'll show you what is given. So internet or internal. Difference is internet facing load balancer routes request from the client over internet. That means this will get the request from internet. Internal means load balancer request from the client to target using private IP address. If it is public, internet. If it is private, application server will have private IP. Web server will have the public IP. Already we discussed. Application only private. Web will be having public. So I'm using IPv4 address, but of course, if you can go with the dual stack means both IPv4 and IPv6 is going to be used. Coming to network mapping here, tell me my server is on which availability zone? 1A, 1B. So after that, security groups, default. In default, do you have port number 80? No. So I'm going for all traffic here. Coming to the listener rule, guys, I'm using HTTP and port number 80. Currently, my Apache port number is what? Apache port number. Web server, not app server. 80 only. So my protocol is HTTP and port number is why? Because I installed Apache. Okay. But if it is Tomcat, port number is, but I'm using Apache port number 80. Now click on target group. By default, you don't have any target group. Click on create target group. Name of the target group. So my targets are instance. But apart from instance, sometimes your target can be IP address. Sometimes your target can be Lambda function. And sometimes your target can be load balancer also. So target group name, I'm going to give it as TG1. Target group 1. Protocol. Port number 80. So that's it. If I click on next, currently these two are my instances. Select both of them. Click on include as pending below. Create target group. That's it. Very simple. Now, if we go back to the previous console, if you click on drop in, it won't come. Why? Because you want to refresh here. Is my target group coming now? Simply, if you go and click on create load balancer, that's it. It is the way how you can create the. Again, I'll explain one more time for your better understanding. See, name of the load balancer will be Swiggy. Schema, which one? Internet or internal? So IPv4. So availability zones 1A, 1B. In future, if you create one more server with the same application, wait guys, it got stuck. If I don't select 1A and 1B, my load balancer will not be created. Why? Because my servers is on 1A and 1B only. Security group give all traffic. Alright. Remember, single security group, sorry, multiple security group can be attached to a single server. It's fine. Port number 80, target group. I think all of you know how to create target group. If you click on here, it is going to take you next page. Instances, Target group name can be anything. I am giving it as TG2, for example. Okay. So click on next, click on select these them, click on create target group. So already I created, I'm not going to create one more time. Select the target group one. That's it. For example, if your application is not running on port number 80, if your application is running on port number 81, you need to configure your port number 81. For example, in a server, you have port number 81, port number 82, port number 83, port number 84. So you need to configure all of the port numbers here. But currently, I'm having port number 80 for my application. So I'm configuring only one listener. But if you have multiple port numbers, you need to configure multiple listener. For example, in Docker Swarm, port number 81 for movies, 82 for train, 83 for detach. All of them we created or not, sir? So same thing, if you have multiple port numbers for your application, you need to configure them. So WAF, web application firewall, it is not mandatory. So click on create load balancer. So load balancer will take a couple of minutes to activate the DNS service. Here you can see. Basically, from the server, if you want to access the application, you need to give the public IP address. But from load balancer point of view, you need to give the DNS. What we need to give? This DNS will be automatically generated by the AWS load balancer. In real time, we can use our custom DNS, www.swiggy.com. But here we are using the default DNS as per the Amazon. Now, if you go here, this is my target group, network mapping. So these two will be my servers on US East 1A and US East 1B. So resource mapping means you, from the port protocol 80, you created one rule. Okay. That you given for target group 1. Now target group is having two servers. It is server number 1, it is server number 2, like this. Okay. Coming to security, you can see security groups. Monitoring, you can monitor the health of your servers here. But it is not configured yet. Integration is not done. Why? Because we don't want to integrate anything here. Attributes and finally tags. I'll tell what is the attributes later. Okay, don't worry it as of now. So now once your load balancer come to active state, I can check the response. I think load balancer we seen in the concept of KOps. Same access. Is it active now? Now if I go and access the application, see. I'm gonna make it side by side for you. I'll take the secondary window here. Wait. It is my primary window. And it is my secondary window. See, if I give the request, So I'm going to take some gap here. I'm going to stop it as of now. I'm going to start it now from the freshly. So now if I hit my URL here, for example, I'm copying the URL from the load balancer. Wait. Now request will come to both servers. See, first request, server number 1. Second request, server number 2. Again, if I hit enter, server number 1. Again, if I hit enter, server number 2. Is it equally distributing the load or not, sir? Now load is coming for this server as well as frequently second server also. See, keep the second server also giving the load. Are you able to see it now? Again, I'm hitting the enter. How many times I hit enter, that many times the load is gonna distribute. For example, if I want to give more clarity for you, I'll take some small change. Only some small change. What is the small change? In the index.html, instead of 1743 restaurant, I'll give it as server 1 and server 2. Why? Because this is for your clarity only. Let me go to the index.html here. Guys, I am showing the modification for your better clarity. In the index.html, var www html, go for index.html. Here I am just going to replace the word. Are you disconnected? Wait. Give me a second. It got disconnected. So see, if I want to show the difference, instead of this number, I can put server 1 and server 2. So I can be easily able to show you the request is going to which server. So I need to replace the word 1747 with server number 1 and server number 2. I think all of you know how to change index.html, right? Fine. Divya, it is some separate topic, Divya. Don't worry it as of now, okay? One four seven three. So I want to replace what here? In title, I can see 1473. This one I want to replace 1473. Wait. This one I want to replace 1473 restaurant as I want to replace as server 1 and server 2. So here I'll go here. I'll give server 1. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it. So similarly here also I'm gonna replace 1473 as server number 2. Why I'm replacing means I want to show you how it is replacing for two different servers. See, if I click on refresh now, currently the application is going for which server? It's not changed here. Wait. Currently the request going to which server? If I click on refresh, next request is going for. So wait, server 1 is not changed here. Wait, let me change it properly. In server 1, it is not properly replicated. One source slash 14. What is the value? 1473. It is on which line? Set number slash 1473. It is on line number 105. Okay. So in the line number 105, if you go and see, it is not change it to like 06. It is not changed to server number 1. That is the reason it's not replicating. So now I'm going to change it to server 1. Now if I save it, now if you go and see, you can clearly see the data is distributing to two servers. Now it is going to which server? It is going to 2. Again, next request 1. Next request 2. Next request 1. Again, next request. Like this, my data is equally distributing to all of the servers or not, sir? This is the way how exactly you are going to distribute the load to the elastic load balancer. Is the concept of elastic load balancer clear for all of you know? Online, can you please confirm is the concept of elastic load balancer clear for all of you or not? Can you please confirm in chat box? Okay. So now you can ask me, sir, currently you are distributing the load to two servers. How many servers? If these two servers are not able to handle the load, what you can do? You can create one more new server, correct or not, sir? Here you have two things. You need to scale the servers. What you need to do? Scaling means two type of scalings we are having, horizontal and vertical. Horizontal means new. Vertical means already existing servers. We are going to increase the CPU and RAM. For example, currently these two servers are giving the application for me. What I can do? If I want to improve the capacity of my server, I can stop it in the action, in the instance settings. Can I able to increase my instance type or not, sir? Already you know how to increase instance type, right? This is method number 1. It is called as vertical scaling. Which one? Horizontal scaling means creating a new server directly. So you need to understand the terms here. What is vertical? Vertical means for existing servers. Horizontal means, okay. Sir, again in vertical, you are having two types. Scale up and scale down. Scale up means adding more CPUs and RAM. Okay. Scale down means removing or like a decreasing CPUs and RAM. So I can call it as increase. Huh? That is EBS volume. Na? The EBS volume and this will be both different. Na? So in vertical, we can increase the CPUs and RAM. That is called as scale up. Scale down means we can decrease the CPU and RAM. But in real time, vertical is not the predicted one. It's not good use case. That is the reason we can use horizontal. In horizontal, again, we have two types. Scale out and second one will be scale in. What is the difference? Scale out means you are going to create new servers. Scale in means removing the existing servers. Removing existing added servers. This is the difference you need to understand. So in scaling, we are having two types, vertical and horizontal. Vertical means we are going to do with the existing servers actually. So scale up means increasing the RAM and CPU. Scale down means decreasing the RAM and CPU. Again, in horizontal, we are going to have new. Scale out means create new server. Scale in means remove the newly created servers. That's it. Is the difference clear for all of you know? Now, what is the best approach? Vertical or horizontal? Horizontal. Remember, in real time, for web server and app server, we can use horizontal scaling. But for database, we need to use vertical. Why? Because for database, are we going to have user load here? No. If user will send more data, it will store. But if the data is exceeding, we can scale, we can increase the capacity. But we don't create the new one. But for web server and app server, definitely we need to give the horizontal. But for database server, vertical, right? This one. This is very important point in the interview point for the experienced people. What are the scaling strategies you apply for the 3D architecture? Horizontal for web and app, vertical for database. Why? Because user can access web and app, but user cannot access. So no need to create the multiple servers. Simply we can increase the strength. Online is the point here for all of you. Whatever I said here, can you please confirm? Fine now. But here my question is, you need to understand a concept, sir. You are creating auto scaling group, but whenever if you create auto scaling group, new server will come. But how the application will be configured to the new server? Question is pretty straightforward. See, currently you are having two servers. These are serving the application. I think already answer we discussed, but I'll tell you one more time. See, the server number one, server number two. Here already configured the application, but whenever if I scale, new server will come. How will the new server will get the same application of server number one and server number two? We can use the golden AMI. What we can use? In real time, your application definitely need to be configured as AMI. Based upon that AMI only, you are going to launch the instance. If you launch instance from your golden AMI, already application will come or not, sir? That is method number one. But we can use method number two also. What is the method number two? While creating the instance, you can run the script now. It is also like possible. We can use method number two. So both methods are possible, but preferred one will be golden AMI. All of you know how to create the golden AMI, right? But I'll show you how to launch the new instance from the script based. So let's go and create the auto scaling group here. So coming to auto scaling group here. In auto scaling group, we'll create the number of servers based upon your CPU utilization, number of requests, like that. We have some scaling strategies. Create auto scaling group. Group name will be Swiggy ASG. Here we need to define the launch template. What we need to define? Launch template means what are the configuration you want to give for your application. So click on create launch template. That means whenever auto scaling group create a new EC2 instance, okay, I need to get the template name as my template, my Swiggy. So description, I'm using for my Swiggy app. Go for Amazon and X2. Of course, in real time here, you are going to use golden AMI. This already you know how to create and configure golden AMI, but this time I'm going with the script based one. Why? Because this is the second way of doing. I want to show multiple methods for you. Instance type, T2 micro, key pair, normal key pair. So existing security group, all. In the advanced, can I go and run my script here now? I'll copy. Go it here. But whenever you run a script, # exclamatory space /bin bash. Run this one. That's it. So now if we click on create launch template, remember this launch template, whatever the data you provide to the launch template, whenever the auto scaling group create the new server, it will take input from this launch template. Whatever the configuration you have given, based upon this configuration only, ASG will create the new server for you. So is the point clear for all of you know? Click on refresh. I'll be getting the MySwiggy here. So version is default, and of course you can specify the version also, but I'm using here version by default one. Next. So VPC availability on subnet. So select all the subnets. Why? Because your instance can be running on any of the server after creating. The main thing is here you need to attach the load balancer actually. Next. So we have load balancer or not, sir? Attached to existing load balancer. What is our load balancer? It is my target group actually. Okay. So attached to VPC, I don't want no VPC as of now. So go here. Health grace period will be 300. That means I'll tell you. For example, if you add the new server to the load balancer, server number 1, server number 2. Wait, why it is going? If I add server number 1, server number 2, and server number 3 to my load balancer, whenever the load increase, you add the new server. But after 300 seconds only, next server will come. That is called as grace period. Which one? Grace period. Click on next. Desired capacity means how many you want? I want 3. Minimum, at least anytime minimum you need to run 3 servers, and maximum I need to have 5 servers. Minimum 3, maximum 5. Coming to the scaling policies, go for target scaling policy. Here my CPU utilization is more than 20%. I need to create the new. But as of now, in real time, you can go for 60 and 70, but I'm going for 20 only. And coming to the scaling policy, you have a lot of types, but I'm taking the CPU utilization. What I'm taking? That's it. So click on next. Click on next. Next. That's it. Simply, if you can go and create auto scaling group, no auto scaling group is going to launch the new EC2 instance CPU. But here, desired how many I have given? That means by default, currently I'm having only 2 servers, na? But desired is 3. Automatically, it will go and create a new server. If you can go and see, are you seeing new server here now? Wait, it is on pending status now. Are you seeing now? Sir, currently I am not giving the load to my server, but why it is coming? Why? Because the desired capacity you put is, that means it will create the 3 servers. But if I go and edit, if I put 2, let me show you. If I go and edit, desired capacity, if I put 2, now automatically the server is gonna delete or not, sir? And minimum also 2 you need to put. Now if I go and check here, the server is going to be in terminate status. Which status? Wait, a small mistake here. Wait, edit. Okay, of course, one more thing here. Basically, here the old servers are going to not work now. So let me remove these old servers. Terminate them. So now if I go for load balancer, wait. For the load balancers, you can go and check in the section of target groups. Where is the network mapping? Here is network mapping. Okay. Resource new. Wait. Currently, if you can go and see how many servers are running now, that means my application is distributing to how many servers? I can clearly see it. Why? Because server number 1, server number 2, and server number 3. 3 of them are using the application or not, sir? So if you want to check, no need to go to console. You can go for the resource map and you can check it here. Okay. So like this, you can be able to automatically add the servers. So this is the concept of the auto scaling group. Now, if you go for target groups, you can clearly see that. Now for the target group, how many servers are there? How many? Of course, you are having 5. Out of them 5, one is draining. Second one is unused, but 3 of them are using or not, sir? If I try to increase the load of these servers, automatically My auto scaling group create 5 servers. How many? Let me go and show you. I think all of you know how to increase the load, right? Connect to all the servers. So give the command. Let me connect to server number 3 also. I haven't connected to server number 3 yet. CD desktop slash keep it. So guys, this is very familiar to what exactly we seen in the Kubernetes. In Kubernetes also same process. Okay. Now if I go and see, all of my 5 servers are running or not, sir? But here if you go and see for load balancer, how many of them are using now in target group? See, healthy is 3. Unused is? You can ask me, sir, why this one is not used? I'll tell you. If you go to health checks, if you go to unused, see this one is unused actually. If I go here and if I check targets is availability zone that is not enabled by load balancer. Already we discussed. In load balancer, you need to give the availability zone. Currently, my load balancer is supporting how many availability zones? Go and check. Network mapping. How many availability zones? 1A, 1B. But if you go to target group, see this current target group, which is unused, is running on which availability zone? The logic clear now? This target group is allowing only my load balancer for 1A and 1B. But my server number 4 is running on 1E. Do I have 1E available here? Click on edit subnet. Click on 1E. I select all of them. Why? Because my next server might create on some other, I don't know. Click on save. The moment if I save, automatically now this will be coming to healthy status. See, condition it is initializing. Initializing means it will come to healthy status now. Let me go and click on refresh. If I click on refresh, current it is on which status? Wait for some time. And now you need not to go to console. You can go and check on the resource mapping. In the resource mapping, are you able to see the workflow here? Are you able to see target group is having 3 servers or not, sir? And you can see the last one initializing. Target registration is on. Wait for some time. I'm getting some throat pain actually. Continuously I'm speaking for a long time. So it is taking some time. Wait for it. Now you can see in US East 1A, how many targets I'm having? 1. And US East 1A and 1B. You can check the number of target groups in each availability zone also. Guys, let's wait for a couple of minutes. It will take some time to activate. No, no. So currently, how many targets are healthy now? How many servers are running? 4. If I go to the load balancer and if I give resource mapping, let me click on refresh. The section of resource mapping, now you can go and clearly check. My target is giving the application for server number 1, server number 2, server number 3, server number 4. That all of the 4 servers are giving the same application or not, sir? Are you able to see it or not? See, target group 1 is having 4 targets. Server number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Of course, if the load is increasing for these 4 servers, automatically my 5th server will run. Let me show you how to run it. So if I go here, give the stress command. What I am giving here? I am connecting to 3 of my servers as of now. Of course, you can connect to 4 of them also. Let me name them to, this is my web server 3. And the final one will be my web server 4. Naming, I'm giving it for your clarity only. 4. So I'm connecting to all of these 4 servers now, and I'll try to give stress for all of them. So tell me how many targets I'm having now? 4. What is the maximum capacity I put? 5. But you can create up to hundreds of servers. But as of now, I'm just showing you with 5 servers. Okay. Give the command Amazon Linux extras install epel. If you install epel, then only stress command will work for you. So give here the command yum install stress. Now give the command here stress. Now what you can do? You need to do the copy paste. So now click on multi paste here. What you need to click on? If you click on multi paste, it is going to paste on all servers. But the timeout I'm giving for 60 seconds. How many seconds? The moment if I hit enter, automatically if you go to your AWS console, so you can see the new server is going to provision now. Click on refresh. How many are there now? How many are there? Wait for some time. Let me go and check the events here. Activity. In the activity, I can see it here. 17 is the last scaling policy it worked. In the activity, you can see actual like how it is going to work for you. It's taking some time. Need to create one scaling here, but it's taking some time. Wait. Here I have put the tracking policy. By default, tracking policy is enabled as required. If CP is more than 20%, add or remove the units. Okay. 300 seconds will be the warm up, including the metric. think it's taking more than expected time. It need to come by this time, but it's taking some time. Are you seeing pending now? So here, if I go for running, now you can see currently I'm having 4. Now some other servers are going to be added. So in this way, exactly you are going to scale. One more thing, guys. Basically, what is the desired capacity? What is the maximum capacity I put here? But here, if you can go and see, currently how many servers are running here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sir, maximum you put 5 only, but why 6 is running means see. Web server number 1, web server number 2 is not from auto scaling. How I created them? Manually, right? So web server 1 and 2 will not come under the auto scaling group. So that is the reason why you are seeing 6. Currently, tell me how many servers are maintaining by auto scaling group? 4 only, right? That's it. Now is the concept of auto scaling group clear for all of you know? So guys, whatever the work you have seen, it is a complete real-time work. In my real-time also, we are going to configure the auto scaling group and load balance in the same as it is. However, I said for you in the same way we configured and we worked on our real-time. So now before going for doubts and queries, first of all, how's the class for all of you? Is the real life is the real-time work clear for all of you know? Online, can you please confirm me? Is the class clear for all of you not today? Can you please confirm in chat box? Yeah, 300 seconds. That is the reason why you are waiting, Paresh. And one more thing, if you want to understand this concept in a better way, in Kubernetes, if you understand load balancer and HPA, this concept is very easy. If you can't understand it, it is not very easy for you here. Okay. And remember, once you delete the auto scaling group, automatically the servers are also going to be. Currently, what is the status here? Deleting. Wait. Once if it is completely gone, you cannot see your servers running anymore. So now that's it for today's session, guys. Now before we wrap it, so any doubts or any queries in today's session for you? No queries, huh? First of all, is the class clear for all of you? Of course, class is very lengthy. I know why, because it's the real-time work. I cannot put shortcut for real-time work. Okay, don't think it is difficult. It is depth what you learn. If you practice, this is going to help you a lot. Why? Because the real life work is gonna be the same way what exactly I deliver for you now. Okay, how exactly I configured my application, the same knowledge I'm sharing with you. Don't think it is difficult. It is depth what you are learning. If I teach you very, very basic, you will be happy. I'll be very happy. Right? But do you have any use of it actually? That is the reason, even if it is difficult for you, I'll go for too depth for it. So that's it, guys. Now, any queries pending from your side, you can ask me. And after practicing, please delete the load balancers and auto scaling group, everything. Okay. Huh? Gateway load balancer you can use for third party fleet actually. For example, see, you will send the request to the server through the load balancer, correct or not, sir? Before the request will go to the load balancer, first of all, we send request to the gateway load balancer. This gateway load balancer will verify requests are safe or not. If the request is safe, then it will send to the, otherwise it is not going to send to the, it is for the security purpose. Okay. No, EPC not. In this only. When? ఎప్పుడు? Second time it won't execute. ఎక్కడ? That is creating from auto scaling group na. In auto scaling group already I configured the script. You got the logic point? Huh? Auto scaling group will create a new server. Script will execute when the new server got created. Correct or not? In the template I defined that one. That's it. Okay then. So let's meet on tomorrow's session with some new topic. Have a great day. Bye. Thank you. Bye everyone.